Welcome back to the Coin Studio. In this video, we dive straight into 5 absolute legends of Australian numismatics. These commemorative 50-cent pieces pack massive historical vibes, collector passion, and serious market heat in top grades. The 1981 Charles and Diana Royal Romance, 1982 Brisbane Games Energy, 1994 Family Warmth, 2005 Athens Olympics Wildlife Mashup, and 2010 Australia Day Unity Vibe. These coins are pure Aussie gold when pristine. Stay with me as we break down why they're worth hunting, what makes the best examples skyrocket, and how you could be sitting on hidden gems right now. Let's moving on. First up, the 1981 Australian 50-cent coin commemorating the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer stands as a tangible piece of royal history minted right here in our nation, capturing the excitement of that global event with its distinctive design that blends elegance and national pride. Crafted from copper-nickel alloy, this dodecagonal coin features on its obverse the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Mackin, facing right and encircled by the inscription, Elizabeth II Australia 1981, symbolizing the enduring ties between Australia and the British monarchy during a time when royal fervor swept across our shores from Sydney to Perth. On the reverse, the profiles of Prince Charles and Lady Diana face left, with Charles positioned slightly ahead, a subtle nod to tradition, surrounded by the words HRH the Prince of Wales and Lady Diana Spencer, making it a snapshot of optimism and romance that resonated deeply with Australians who tuned in en masse to watch the fairy tale wedding on television, fostering a sense of shared celebration in our multicultural society. This coin wasn't just currency. It was a commemorative issue struck by the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, due to production challenges at the Royal Australian Mint, highlighting the collaborative spirit of the Commonwealth and adding a layer of intrigue to its backstory for collectors who appreciate the nuances of minting history. With a massive mintage of 20 million pieces, it circulated widely, embedding itself into everyday Australian life. From change in pockets during barbecues in Brisbane to transactions at markets in Melbourne. Yet its value transcends mere face value because it evokes the cultural zeitgeist of the early 1980s, an era of economic shifts and royal glamour that many Aussies remember fondly as a bridge between tradition and modernity. For numismatists across Australia, from hobbyists in Hobart to serious investors in Adelaide, the coin's value lies in its ability to connect personal memories with historical significance, as the wedding marked a pivotal moment in the royal family that influenced public sentiment down under, where loyalty to the crown remains a topic of lively debate even today. Beyond sentiment, the coin's metallurgical composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel, ensures durability, allowing well-preserved examples to retain their luster over decades, which is crucial for value assessment in a market where condition is king. And Australian collectors often seek pieces that mirror the pristine excitement of that July 1981 day when bells rang out in London and echoes reached our beaches. The design by Stuart Devlin, a renowned Australian artist, adds artistic merit, with a couple's portraits rendered in fine detail that captures Diana's youthful grace and Charles's regal poise, making it not just a coin, but a miniature artwork that appeals to those who value craftsmanship in our nation's numismatic heritage. In terms of collectability, this 50-cent piece fits into the broader series of Australian commemoratives, standing alongside issues like the 1970 Captain Cook or the 1982 Commonwealth Games coins. But its royal theme gives it a unique edge in a country where royal visits and events have long stirred national interest, from Queen Elizabeth's tours to the ongoing discussions about our constitutional monarchy. Value-wise, the coin's widespread availability means it's accessible for entry-level collectors in regional towns like Cairns or Darwin, encouraging a new generation of Aussies to explore numismatics without breaking the bank. Yet discerning buyers recognize that subtle variations, such as strike quality or toning, can elevate its worth, reflecting the democratic nature of coin collecting in Australia, where everyone from trad-eyes to professionals can participate. The historical context further boosts its appeal. Minted amid industrial disputes at the RAM, it represents resilience in Australian manufacturing, a theme that resonates with our hardworking ethos, and as a circulating commemorative, Many were saved rather than spent, creating a pool of specimens that vary in preservation, thus driving a dynamic market where value is determined by supply, demand, and storytelling potential at coin shows from the Gold Coast to Alice Springs. For Australians passionate about preserving our links to the past, owning this coin is like holding a piece of the royal narrative that unfolded on our screens, with Diana's legacy of compassion and Charles's environmental advocacy adding layers of contemporary relevance that enhance its intangible value in today's culturally aware society. Moreover, the coin's role in educating younger generations about monarchy and history makes it a valuable teaching tool in schools across Victoria and New South Wales, where discussions about Australia's identity often reference such artifacts, underscoring its educational worth beyond monetary terms. From a market perspective, the coin's value appreciates steadily with nostalgia, as baby boomers in Western Australia and Queensland reminisce about the wedding hype, pushing demand for high-quality examples that capture that unblemished shine, much like the hopeful dawn of the Spencer-Windsor Union. Collectors note that while common in lower grades, the pursuit of perfection, free from scratches, with sharp edges and full details, mirrors the Australian spirit of striving for excellence, whether in sport or collecting. And this drives premiums in online auctions and local dealers from Canberra to Fremantle. The coin's dodecagonal shape, a hallmark of Australian 50 cents since 1969, provides ergonomic appeal, but its commemorative status sets it apart, offering value through rarity and context rather than scarcity, as enthusiasts group it with other royal-themed issues to form thematic collections that tell the story of Australia's evolving relationship with the throne. In essence, the 1981 50-cent coin's value is multifaceted, blending historical resonance, artistic design, and market accessibility, making it a staple for Australian portfolios where emotional attachment often outweighs pure investment returns. Yet savvy collectors know that pairing it with provenance or original packaging can amplify its desirability in a community that values authenticity above all. As time passes, its value may grow with royal milestones, such as anniversaries or documentaries revisiting the wedding, keeping it relevant in a digital age where physical mementos, like this coin, provide a tactile link to bygone eras for families in South Australia and the Northern Territory alike. Ultimately, for Australian people who cherish our shared heritage, this coin embodies the blend of pomp and everyday life that defines our national character, offering enduring value that goes far beyond its 50-cent denomination. In high grades, such as uncirculated or better, market values for the 1981 Australian 50-cent Charles and Diana wedding coin typically range from $5 Australian dollars to $20 for bright, luster-rich examples, with proof versions from mint sets fetching $15 Australian dollars to $50 depending on packaging integrity, while rare error variants like off-center strikes or die cracks can command $45,000 to $50,000 or more at specialist auctions, reflecting strong collector interest in premium conditions. Next up, the 1982 Australian 50-cent coin honoring the 12 Commonwealth Games held in Brisbane captures the electric atmosphere of Australia's first time hosting this prestigious multi-sport event, a milestone that united the nation in pride and excitement as athletes from across the Commonwealth converged on Queensland's capital from September 30th to October 9th that year. Struck at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, this copper-nickel dodecagonal piece weighs 15.55 grams and measures 31.65 millimeters across, featuring on its obverse the familiar second effigy of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Mackin, encircled by Elizabeth II, Australia, 1982. A design that reinforces the enduring Commonwealth bonds celebrated during those games. The reverse bursts with energy through Stuart Devlin's dynamic composition, showcasing the official games logo, a stylized kangaroo in full flight formed by the symbol design by Hugh Edwards, surrounded by vignettes of various athletic pursuits including running, swimming, cycling, weightlifting, and boxing, embodying the spirit of friendly competition and sporting excellence that had Aussies cheering from stadiums in Brisbane to living rooms right across the country. With a staggering mintage of approximately 49.6 million pieces, this coin flooded into circulation, becoming a common sight in wallets and pockets during the early 1980s as everyday Australians embraced the games fever, using it for bus fares in Melbourne, coffees in Sydney cafes, or tips at regional pubs in places like Townsville and Rockhampton. Yet its true worth lies far beyond the 50-cent face value, rooted in the way it encapsulates a pivotal chapter in our sporting history when Brisbane stepped onto the global stage, showcasing our hospitality, infrastructure, and love of fair play that still defines the Australian character today. For collectors nationwide, from passionate enthusiasts in regional Victoria to dedicated numismatists in the outback towns of Western Australia, this coin serves as a cherished reminder of national achievement, evoking memories of backyard barbecues tuned to live broadcasts, school kids waving flags, and the surge of community spirit that made the event unforgettable. The durable copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper blended with 25% nickel, resists wear remarkably well, preserving the crisp details of Devlin's artwork in higher grades, which is essential in a market where pristine examples command attention from buyers seeking that fresh from the mint gleam reminiscent of the game's opening ceremony vibrancy. This issue slots seamlessly into Australia's proud tradition of commemorative 50 cents, standing shoulder to shoulder with earlier pieces like the 1970 Cook or later ones marking milestones. But its direct tie to a home soil international event gives it special resonance for those who value our role in global sport and the legacy of athletes who brought home gold for the green and gold. Accessibility remains a key draw, allowing beginners in Darwin or Launceston to start building collections without huge outlays, while experienced collectors hunt for superior strikes free of contact marks, bag marks, or toning that detract from the coin's athletic motif. The games themselves highlighted Australia's emerging prowess in disciplines like athletics and swimming, with home crowd support pushing performances to new heights. And owning this coin feels like possessing a fragment of that triumphant energy, a physical link to the era when Brisbane's venues buzzed with international flair and local enthusiasm. In thematic collections focused on sport, Commonwealth ties, or Queensland history, it shines as a cornerstone piece, its storytelling power amplified at coin fairs from the Sunshine Coast to the Adelaide Hills, where tales of the 1982 triumph are swapped over coffee. Preservation matters immensely here, as decades of handling have left most examples with wear that dulls the fine lines of the athletes depicted, making gem uncirculated or proof-like specimens from original rolls or sets particularly sought after by those who appreciate condition rarity in a high mintage issue. The coin's educational value endures too, serving as a classroom aid in schools throughout New South Wales and Queensland to spark discussions on Australia's sporting heritage, multiculturalism through the Commonwealth, and the importance of hosting major events that boost national identity. Nostalgia plays a powerful role as well, with older generations in Tasmania and South Australia fondly recalling the games as a high point of optimism in the decade, fueling steady demand that keeps values stable and occasionally rising with anniversaries or renewed interest in Commonwealth sport. Era varieties, such as partial collar strikes or off-medal anomalies, add intrigue for advanced collectors willing to pay premiums for the unusual, reflecting the meticulous eye Aussies bring to hobbies. Overall, this 1982 50 cent embodies the blend of achievement, community, and enduring appeal that makes Australian numismatics so rewarding, offering collectors a piece that speaks to our love of sport, national pride, and the simple joy of holding history in hand. In high grades, such as uncirculated or better, market values for the 1982 Australian 50 cent 12 Commonwealth Games Brisbane coin typically range from $2 Australian to $8 for lustrous circulated examples, with brilliant uncirculated pieces from rolls or sets reaching $10 Australian to $25. Proof specimens from mint packaging fetching $20 Australian to $60 or higher depending on certification and eye appeal, while notable errors or exceptional gems can exceed $30,000 in specialist sales, driven by ongoing interest in premium Australian commemoratives. Next up, the 1994 Australian 50 cent coin, marking the United Nations International Year of the Family, stands as a heartfelt tribute to the core of Australian society. Our families, the everyday bonds that hold communities together from bustling suburbs in Sydney to quiet farms in the Riverina. Produced by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, This copper-nickel 12-sided coin weighs in at the standard 15.55 grams with a diameter of 31.65 millimeters. Bearing on its obverse the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Maclauff, adorned with the King George IV state diadem, pearl necklace and earrings, encircled by Elizabeth II Australia 1994, reflecting the era's blend of tradition and contemporary values. The reverse, masterfully designed by Carolyn Rosser, features a charming, childlike line drawing of a family complete with their loyal dog, rendered in simple yet expressive strokes that evoke innocence and warmth. Positioned alongside the distinctive United Nations International Year of the Family logo, with Australia 1994 above and 50 cents below, released into circulation with a total mintage of about 21.2 million pieces. The vast majority entered daily life across the nation, from paying for ice creams in Perth to school canteen purchases in Brisbane, yet a notable split exists between the more common narrow date variety, around 19.58 million, and the scarcer wide date, roughly 1.25 million, adding an extra layer of intrigue for collectors who enjoy hunting these subtle differences in date spacing that emerged from different dies during production. This coin arrived at a time when Australia was embracing global themes of unity and support for families, aligning perfectly with our national ethos of mateship, resilience, and looking out for one another, whether in urban centers like Melbourne or remote communities in the top end. For families and collectors alike, it serves as a gentle reminder of the importance placed on kinship, parenting, and intergenerational connections in the mid-1990s, a period of economic recovery and social focus that many Aussies recall with affection as a time when family values were front and center in public discourse and personal lives. The durable 75% copper and 25% nickel composition has allowed countless examples to survive with minimal wear, preserving the endearing simplicity of Rosser's artwork that captures the universal joy of family life in a way that's uniquely approachable and unpretentious. This issue fits beautifully into Australia's commemorative 50-cent legacy, following on from sporting and royal themes, but shifting focus to something more intimate and universally relatable, making it a favorite for thematic collections centered on social history, children's art motifs, or United Nations observances that highlight our country's engagement with worldwide causes. Its accessibility encourages newcomers from places like Geelong or Wollongong to dip into numismatics, while seasoned enthusiasts scour for top-grade pieces with full original luster, sharp child-drawn details, and no distracting marks, knowing that condition dramatically influences appeal in a market where emotional connection often drives demand. The wide date variant, in particular, draws dedicated attention from variety hunters who appreciate the detective work involved in spotting these minor but collectible distinctions, much like the thrill of finding a rare bird in the bush. Beyond collectability, the coin carries strong sentimental weight for those who lived through 1994, evoking memories of family gatherings, school projects on the theme, or community events promoting family well-being that echoed across states from Tasmania to the Northern Territory. It also holds educational merit, frequently used in classrooms to discuss themes of diversity in Australian families, blended, single-parent, multicultural, extended, fostering appreciation for inclusivity in our modern society. As nostalgia builds with passing years, demand remains steady among those who see it as a symbol of enduring family ties amid life's changes, from raising kids in the 90s to grandparenting today. Error pieces or exceptional proofs from sets add further excitement for advanced collectors. But the core appeal lies in its straightforward celebration of what matters most to so many Aussies: the family unit in all its forms. In high grades, such as uncirculated or better, market values for the 1994 Australian 50-cent International Year of a Family coin typically range from $1 Australian to $5 for attractive circulated narrow date examples, with wide date varieties commanding $5 Australian to $20 or more in similar condition. Brilliant uncirculated pieces from rolls or sets reaching $8 Australian to $30. Proof specimens from official year sets fetching $15 Australian to $50 depending on quality and packaging, while certified gems, notable Varieties or packaged first day covers can achieve $50,000 to $70,000 plus in specialist auctions, sustained by enduring interest in meaningful Australian commemoratives. Next up, the 2005 Australian 50-cent coin, celebrating the Athens Olympic Games alongside our iconic wildlife, delivers a vibrant fusion of global sporting triumph and national natural heritage. Marking Australia's strong showing at the 2004 Summer Olympics in Greece, where our athletes claimed an impressive haul of medals across swimming, athletics, and more, while spotlighting the unique creatures that roam our vast landscapes, from the red deserts to lush rainforests. Minted by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, this copper-nickel dodecagonal piece maintains the familiar specifications of 15.55 grams and 31.65 millimeters across flats, with the obverse presenting the fourth effigy of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, framed by Elizabeth II Australia 2005. A portrait that conveys quiet dignity amid the coin's lively theme. The reverse bursts with creativity through a design that intertwines Olympic rings prominently at the center with playful depictions of Australian animals engaged in athletic poses. Kangaroos leaping like hurdlers, koalas climbing as if in gymnastics, emus sprinting in track events, platypuses diving like swimmers, and other native fauna mirroring the spirit of competition, symbolizing how our wildlife embodies the same determination, agility, and resilience displayed by Aussie Olympians on the world stage. Circulated in substantial numbers, this issue entered pockets and purses nationwide during a period of Olympic afterglow. Used for everyday transactions like grabbing a pie at the footy in Adelaide or paying tolls on the highways of New South Wales. Yet its dual focus on international achievement and endemic biodiversity sets it apart as a celebration of both outward-looking pride and inward appreciation for what makes Australia extraordinary. Collectors from coast to coast, whether in coastal havens like Byron Bay or inland hubs like Broken Hill, treasure it for capturing that post-Athens euphoria when the nation basked in medal tallies and renewed affection for our marsupials and monotremes, turning a simple 50 cent into a reminder of unity through sport and nature. The hardy 75% copper, 25% nickel alloy withstands handling over the years, helping many pieces retain their detailed animal vignettes and crisp Olympic rings, which is vital for those chasing high-grade examples where the fine engraving of fur, feathers, and muscular forms shines through without abrasion or dulling. This coin enriches Australia's commemorative 50-cent tradition by bridging major world events with homegrown icons, appealing to thematic assemblers who group it with other Olympic-related issues or wildlife-focused pieces, creating narratives around national identity that resonate deeply in a country where sport and the bush are woven into daily life. Its broad release makes it approachable for young collectors starting out in places like Ballarat or Bundaberg, fostering a lifelong passion for numismatics, while advanced enthusiasts pursue superior strikes from original mint bags or sets, prizing specimens with blazing cartwheel luster, minimal contact, and vivid toning that enhances the natural hues suggested by the animals. The design cleverly promotes environmental awareness too, as the wildlife athletes subtly underscore conservation efforts for species under pressure, aligning with Aussie values of protecting our unique ecosystems amid global challenges. Sentimental ties run strong for those who followed the Athens Games live, recalling dawn viewings of swimming finals or beach volleyball, with the coin serving as a pocket-sized keepsake of that excitement and the enduring bond between Australians and our fauna. In educational settings across Queensland and Victoria, it sparks conversations about biodiversity, Olympic history, and cultural symbolism, helping kids connect abstract concepts to tangible objects. Demand holds firm as anniversaries of the Athens Games approach or wildlife documentaries reignite interest, keeping this issue relevant in a market that rewards pieces blending fun, patriotism, and meaning. Rare varieties or exceptional preservation add thrill for specialists, but its core strength remains the joyful way it honors both human endeavor on the track and the wild spirit of the outback. In high grades, such as uncirculated or better, market values for the 2005 Australian 50-cent Athens Olympic Games and Australian Wildlife Commemorative circulating coin typically range from $3 Australian to $10 for appealing circulated examples with clear details, with brilliant uncirculated pieces from rolls or fresh stock fetching $12 to $35. Proof or select mint set specimens reaching $25 to $80 depending on certification, eye appeal, and original packaging, while standout gems, toned rarities, or any documented anomalies can push toward $40,000 or more in competitive auctions, fueled by collector enthusiasm for themed Australian commemoratives that capture national spirit. Next up, the 2010 Australian 50-cent coin issued for Australia Day, with its uplifting, "Celebrate What's Great" message, embodies the vibrant, inclusive spirit of our national holiday on January 26th. A day when Aussies from all walks of life come together to reflect on what makes this sunburnt country so special. From our beaches and barbecues to our multiculturalism and laid-back resilience. Struck at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra, this copper-nickel 12-sided coin weighs the classic 15.55 grams and spans 31.65 millimeters. Featuring on its obverse the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II crafted by Ian Rank Broadley, with her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, surrounded by Elizabeth II Australia 2010. A dignified yet approachable depiction that ties our constitutional heritage to the modern celebration. The reverse, sculpted by Vladimir Gottwald, whose initial G appears in a small circle above the first A of Australia, presents an artistic outline of the continent formed from flowing ribbons that weave into a circle of diverse people, young and old, men and women, holding hands in unity around the map, with 50 boldly placed inside the landmass. Celebrate What's Great arcing above, and Australia Day curving below, a design that radiates positivity and community pride in a way that feels distinctly Australian. With a circulation mintage of around 11.4 million pieces, supplemented by smaller numbers in brilliant uncirculated rolls and sets, this coin quickly spread across the nation in 2010, slipping into change for coffees in Darwin cafes, tolls on Sydney motorways, or tips at regional Queensland pubs, becoming part of the everyday rhythm while encouraging reflection on national identity during a time of growing conversations about reconciliation, diversity, and what truly defines us as a people. For collectors scattered from the surf towns of the Gold Coast to the mining communities of Kalgoorlie, it represents more than metal. It's a pocket reminder of Australia Day's call to appreciate our freedoms, natural beauty, sporting culture, and the mateship that binds us, especially poignant in an era when the holiday sparks thoughtful debates about history, inclusion, and progress. The robust 75% copper and 25% nickel blend ensures longevity, allowing many examples to hold onto their sharp ribbon details and lively figures despite years in circulation, which matters hugely in a hobby where eye appeal and minimal, where separate ordinary finds from prized editions. This issue stands out in the long line of Australian commemorative 50 cents by focusing squarely on contemporary national pride rather than historical events or wildlife, making it ideal for thematic collections exploring patriotism, holidays, or designs that promote unity in our diverse society from Perth to Hobart. Its relative accessibility invites newcomers in places like Bendigo or Cairns to join the numismatic community without steep costs, while dedicated hunters seek out pristine examples with full cartwheel luster, flawless fields, and vibrant original shine that capture the fresh optimism of that 2010 release. The ribbon motif cleverly symbolizes how individual Australians, Indigenous elders, migrants, farmers, city dwellers interconnect to form the stronger whole, aligning with our core values of fairness, opportunity, and celebrating achievements big and small, from Olympic golds to backyard inventions. Sentimental value runs deep for those who marked Australia Day that year with family picnics, citizenship ceremonies, or community events, turning the coin into a tangible link to personal and collective memories amid life's changes. Educationally, it serves schools in Western Australia and the ACT as a springboard for lessons on national symbols, cultural diversity, and the evolving meaning of January 26th, helping younger generations grasp the holiday's layers of joy and reflection. As time marches on, its appeal endures through annual Australia Day observances, renewed media focus on national stories, or simply the enduring Aussie love for a good yarn about what makes our lifestyle enviable. Subtle aspects like strike quality or light natural toning can elevate specimens in the eyes of connoisseurs, reflecting the discerning taste that characterizes collectors here, whether at local shows in Launceston or online forums buzzing with enthusiasts. Paired with its companion issues like gold-plated proofs for advanced collectors, it rounds out displays that chronicle our evolving national narrative. In every way, this 2010 50-cent coin invites us to pause, appreciate, and yes, celebrate what's truly great about living in Australia. The freedom, the fairness, the fun, and the unbreakable sense of community that shines through in its design and enduring presence. In high grades, such as uncirculated or better, market values for the 2010 Australian 50-cent Australia Day celebrate what's great commemorative issue typically range from $2 to $8 for attractive circulated examples with good detail retention, with brilliant uncirculated pieces from mint rolls or fresh stock fetching $10 to $30. Select specimens from official sets or wrapped rolls reaching $25 to $60 depending on luster, certification, and eye appeal, while exceptional gems, toned, highlights, or packaged originals can achieve $15,000 to $25,000 plus in special sales and auctions, supported by steady demand for uplifting Australian commemoratives that resonate with national pride.